lounging, son.
Welcome back to the Comic Lounge. My name's Ryan.
And I'm Manny.
We are here talking another awesome issue that came out this week. Another number one. Another, I guess, I don't know if you could say patriotic hero. I mean, she wears the colors of the flag, but anyways, Wonder Woman number one. This is obviously not the A cover. I got the Tedesco cover because I'm a huge fan of his covers. He did a bunch of Action Comics covers, and I love the way they have like this, like almost like an Americana vibe to his art style. Also, Wonder Woman is riding a kangaroo, and I don't know why, but I just really wanted to get this cover. This is the start to a brand new run, which when it was announced, I'm like, yep, that makes sense. And it's Tom King and Daniel Sampere and Tomo Mori. I gotta say, I kind of had inklings of what Tom King might do with a Wonder Woman book, but I didn't think it'd be this.
I didn't either. I mean, I figured with his history, and actual government work and his, and how his stories have all sort of dealt with a lot of issues like that. I thought it would be more of like a political slash like ambassador sort of approach, more of a political thriller.
But I feel like that's been done too, like the political kind of like ambassador stuff. But it does this to me. The first thought I had when I finished the issue is this is like total disillusionment with the American government.
It is.
It makes sense. I mean, he was like a CIA operative, during Iraq and stuff like that. So like he probably, I'm sure there's stuff that he's not even allowed to like speak about. But
yeah,
I think that it kind of speaks a lot to what I'm sure a lot of people have feelings about the American government sometimes. The way they'll quickly turn, on somebody, I think is pretty evident. Like I think throughout our history, which we're not the perfect country that sometimes, I mean, I'll be honest. I mean, we're not, right? There's a lot of flaws that this government has. I mean, from the leadership that we had for 4 years prior to this current administration. I may piss people off with that. I don't really care. That's my opinion.
Neither do I.
This is my channel. I'll say what I want. And I know that you're on the same side as I am. So
correct.
But anyways, I think that this was just such a brilliant take. It's interesting to see because, well, we'll get into it, but just like when we talked about Cap, you don't see Wonder Woman for most of this book. We did see Steve, in the book, in the Cap book, but we don't even really see Diana. So we open up and it's being narrated by somebody that we don't even find out till the very last page who it is.
Yes.
Last couple pages. But it's really just describing what is it? There's a line right here. This is the story of how she defeated us, right? Mm-hmm. Admittedly, it touches upon a number of other pertinent themes: power, betrayal, loyalty, men, women, family, love, loss, the lies we pick that eventually ripen, then rot, all of which is secondary next to our humiliation at her dainty hands, but that was at the end. In the beginning, we were sovereign, lord of the Rockies, defender of the coast, high emperor of Columbia, and you flip, she was but a princess, foreign born. And then you just see this, like, I mean, she's wearing a Wonder Woman costume, essentially, right? Sort of. It almost looked like Wonder Girl.
But that's what I thought it was when I first, but then I looked, I was like, well, she seems a little older, and I don't think this is Wonder Girl,
And then
I did initially think that.
Yeah, and this is obviously the narration is taking place later because it says like, even from that first day at the pool hall. So it's talking about this, like, I mean, I don't know at what point in time, like how much time has passed for this. Obviously, like this is not taking place within a day or a week. Like this is throughout this issue is taking place what I would imagine over months. That's kind of how I took it. But yeah, this Amazon woman, like, look at that. I do not like you. You are not good people. And this is crazy, dude. These panels of like the blood just splattered.
Oh yeah, I really did love this page, and like that, that's when I was like, all right, well, this isn't Wonder Girl because this person is like completely brutalizing these men, and like I realized then I wasn't her, and then I was like, all right, well, this is taking a turn that I didn't expect, and then I love the guy coming through a window too there.
Yeah, shout out to the name of the bar, Kanigher's Clubs, after Robert Kanigher, one of the classic DC Comics writers. I love when writers do that when they call out
Oh, good
previous creators.
catch.
So we go to this 9 panel grid, which Tom King loves to fucking
I was
use.
gonna say, yeah, I was like, here's one of Tom's 9 panel grid, you know?
I flipped to this and I was like, for the love of God, please don't just fill this book with a bunch of 9 panel grids. Like, I'm fine with you using it a little bit, but he's come to like, sometimes I'm just like, dude, let's take
Yeah.
a break from it. But anyway, so we're getting,
He has tried to break away from them, I think.
yeah. So we're getting these different, I believe, yeah, all 9 of them are different uh news channels, right? Commenting on what happened. Murder is still at large. They don't know who it is. Then by the time we get down to the bottom, now they're calling out the Amazonian
And it's a cool
connection.
narrative technique always to see this like being told through the news. It's a good way to do some information dumping and and still make it interesting. And Tom King has used the media heavily in his stories too. So it's a good way to show the passage of time and to like sort of let you know how big this event has gotten. You know?
Oh yeah, definitely, dude. And it's interesting too, because like by the end of it too, or throughout this, we're seeing that no men or no women are being killed,
Yes.
only men. So like that also is kind of like now they're
Well,
blaming Amazon, or they think Amazons just are going to kill all men, right? Like that's the goal. At least that's what I'm reading it as. And then we cut to this guy who I know the name Sergeant Steele, but I don't know a lot about him. But I like that he's just like this assassin for the U.S. government. He's sitting there, and I love that, just the bullet out of his finger shooting like the head.
yeah,
I don't know. It made me laugh when I looked at that. I was like, it looks corny as fuck, but at the same time, kind of cool. He's going to be tasked with cleaning up this mess that is going on with the Amazons. Again, this happens twice in this book. I love the way this is like one scene, but the way they break it up with the panels, like this like thin white line, you show the movement throughout the scene as
yes.
Diana's
No, no,
walking.
he does it again later
That's what I
in
said.
the
Yeah, he does
page.
it
Yeah,
twice.
yeah.
So it's Diana walking with Steve, and she's like talking like he tells her like you don't get a guy like Steele to push paper, people are going to get hurt. And she's saying it's just confusion, I can stop it. You can't, she's like, I love this, you can't throw a rope around the whole country.
Yeah, it's a good line. I mean, King is a fantastic writer, and he knows how to write like a narrative that really hits.
Yeah, I just that line is phenomenal. Like that would be such
Yeah.
a good, like, not a quote but like a, or a catchphrase,
No,
but
I
like
will
a good hook on
agree.
the
Yes,
cover of
yeah,
the trade or something.
yes, yeah. Like if you were gonna be quoting one of the characters,
And then we get this like news reporter, and you see like they're interviewing this dude, right? He's with his daughter, and she's constantly saying how she loves Wonder Woman. I am Wonder Woman. And then you see on the opposite, like to parallel what he's doing, he's saying the opposite, like, I'm just saying what every dude is saying. We got to do something before they wipe us all out, because he's like, yeah, they're, what does he say too? He's like, hell, I mean, open your eyes, not a man there, and they call the damn place paradise.
and I looked up Sergeant Steele. Yeah, he's a character that's been around since the late '80s.
And the art is phenomenal in this book. Sampere, he did great work on Dark Crisis. I don't know if you read that one, but like
I
just
didn't.
phenomenal, dude. It's so good. And this scene, dude, this is great. This book just like starts going like 90 miles an hour at this from this point on. Knocking on the door of like, so it's the narration is like all the Amazons for the most part have gone back home, but there's like a few stragglers from the embassy, and this couple, this Amazon who are in a relationship, right? They don't want to go. This dialogue by Sergeant Steele, you can call me Sarge if you'd like, most do. I'm here to load you and your wife into my truck out there, drive you to a boat we got waiting, and send you all on your way home. I'd
It's
appreciate
so. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'd appreciate it if you choose to come with us in a polite and obedient fashion. But if that don't suit you, me and my men here can certainly accommodate any other choice you may now be considering.
Yeah, like it's so slimeball, dude. Like he's
Yeah.
such a fucking ass.
I hate this kid. I hate this guy.
Yeah, I do too. And like I love that King sort of dug out this obscure character and it it's a character that has existed, but he's obviously giving him a spin. And
Mhm.
just in this issue alone, he's already made him very interesting.
Yeah, it makes me kind of want to know more about the character, to be honest with you. Like, I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind reading some older stuff, but I like this too because like they have an adopted daughter, so they're trying to, be able to say like they basically want to stay. They don't want to leave. And then you see the other Amazon come. I love the way that the sun hits the shield, and then you just see the crack as she hits the soldier and the blood splatter in the bottom right panel.
yeah, that's it. Yeah, I love the speed lines there give you like a good feeling of how hard she just hit him.
And look at this. See, like we're the United States of America, man, greatest country on this earth. Again, just like that's what I was talking about, dude. Like we're not a perfect country. There is no perfect country, and like to have that mindset, that ego, like that we're the greatest. I mean, I guess that can be inherently like wrong when you have that mindset.
I also like the detail that he's still wearing his freaking cop sunglasses the whole time. He's talking to them out here. Like it's such a nice little detail.
Dude,
His pose.
the way they execute her, my God.
Yeah,
And
like right there on the sidewalk in front of
yeah,
her.
and the emotion in her eyes, the tears coming down,
Yeah,
and
it's
then the
really good.
kid's crying too, because like now they're ripping, somebody from their home, and like you gotta think like this has definitely happened. Like, I mean, World War II, right? What they did to Asian Americans, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like that's where my mind went. Like, I don't know if that's
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, yeah. I see what you mean. I mean, there is definitely a parallel to the internment camps,
yeah. I mean, they're not putting them in camps. They're
but I
sending
mean,
them
they're
away.
still
But
yeah, they're sending them away,
yes,
and
but
it's
yeah.
still very timely. I mean, we're having a lot of immigration issues and in this country, and Tom King is also not one to shy away from the current political climate and work it into his story. He's done everything. Like you said, he's got a history in espionage, but he's done stuff on PTSD and you know all that kind of stuff. So he doesn't shy away from bringing something real into his stories.
And then you got this like reporter interviewing this senator. God, that senator looks like a douchebag.
Yeah, he's got like that like
Stupid smart
ever
smile.
yeah, that stupid smile, yeah, where it's like, oh, he's ever smiling, but very very good art again capturing the expression on that face because like you could just tell that guy's just smiling for the camera and it's like full of shit.
Yeah, like look at this dude. Like, what because he's like, is this really orderly? And he's like, just starts laying out facts. Fact one: in my home state, there was a terrorist attack and 19 men are dead. Right. Fact two: the Amazons are a distaff monarchy. Fact three: we invited them in. They are our guests, and as with any guest in your home, we have every right to ask them to leave. That's just common
Yeah.
sense. Like, just the fucking scum, just such a scumbag. We passed a law to give us space to find out what is going on, to make sure there's not a secret war on men. Now, at this
Yeah.
moment, people who defy that law, obviously committing crimes are here on our soil. We have every right to enforce that law. It's just like, it's just crazy to see like how quick they
Yeah.
really turn down. And I'm kind of curious like how long this plays out, because we don't have like a time frame. But
We don't. I
obviously,
mean, I'm guessing, like you said earlier, it's probably at least a month because, like, the way we're seeing it unfold in the media seems like it's just like a series of reports, and and it's all been happening for a while, and it seems to be like something that's been dominating like the media narrative for a while.
I love this following page with Nubia, who's now the
Yes.
queen of the Amazons, and she basically called all the Amazons home,
Yeah.
and Diana's not. She's not coming back, and she's like, she gave this sword to one of her fellow Amazons, and she said, as you would have me do, I inquired as to why she would abandon her blade. The princess said, in what I now do, I must avoid temptation. That's
Yeah.
another
She
good.
means
That's another
business.
good one,
Yeah.
dude. Like if there's chapter breaks in
Yeah.
in a trade, like these are lines like that would just
Yeah.
like
Like Batman Year One style, where they had like the one quote on the chapter break.
it's so good. And then this scene in the snow where Sergeant Steele confronts Diana, And
Yeah, I mean, it's the first time we see her in the story.
and you're building up the tension because this conversation is happening, but you don't see her, right? Like he's like, well, I mean, you're people, but I imagine you probably understood that, didn't you? And my sisters had nothing to do with this tragedy. That's why I'm here in Montana. There are lies here. And again, keeps talking about lies, and we'll see why that's mentioned as we move forward. But like, you
Yeah,
see the sniper scope on her, and look at this. You call me a girl because you think I'm a fool, but I'm thinking those who think girls are fools themselves.
and he just laughs it off.
Yeah. And look, and she doesn't even do anything. And then they just fire upon her, and boom, the money shot, dude. She
Yeah,
fucking bounces the bullets off.
I like the imagery there with the doves and everything. There's a beautiful
How about
page.
this? How about this angle right here, dude? Where she's in the air. I love
Yeah,
that.
actually, yeah, that is. It's an interesting layout too. You know, it's
Let's get it done and
and
get her home. She's like, you don't understand. I am home.
she just kicks these guys' asses, man.
And it's funny
And
too,
like,
like again, the narration, like talking about how it distinguishes her from her fellow leaguers. You know, Batman has his gadget, Superman his strength, Flash speed, Green Lantern ring, so on and so forth, right? And they're soldiers, predictable, precise, systematic, clinging to their weapons, mechanically executing their plans. But her, and then he describes her as an artist. Her every movement is fluid, organic, original. It's crazy, dude. Like the way she takes every single person out. I love this too because it's not a straight on fight. Like she's using her lasso to kind of do stuff, throws her tiara.
and it comes right back. I love, yeah.
Yeah, just beautiful panels here.
I love this page too with the three panels, like the punch, and that other page too. Her just walking up this.
Let us talk. Like I said, right here, it's like we were buffoons. We should have feared her. You see, the rest of them are soldiers, but she is an artist. And he's just kneeled in the snow, everybody taken out. And she calls him out too because she's like, I didn't even do anything. And you shot first. And then she has this soldier lassoed, and he tells her, like, yeah, we were told to just get you lined up, then a headshot. Can I
I
help but
love
wonder what you will say when I wrap the
when I
rope
wrap
around
the
you?
rope. I love that line too.
Yeah, this is awesome, dude. Because like this is obvious. It almost feels like he could be the main antagonist, but you know that it's not.
He's like a pawn.
Look at that
Doesn't
too.
not that he's not gonna be like a good villain, but he's not. You know, like he's definitely like being manipulated here.
He called, like, obviously what this word that's bleeped out is, and she's like, I do
Yeah,
not like that word. You use it for women, and it's not good.
yeah. The image of her crushing his hand is amazing. Like you really feel the power, and like focusing on that the way the artist did is such a great image too.
Mm-hmm. And
But she's
now,
not even flinching, man. She's just holding this guy's hand. It's like, you
yeah, she's
know,
not even moving. She just grabs his hand and crushes
yeah,
it. And then you come back to like the people in America just sitting at a coffee house
yeah.
talking, like what, like reacting to what's happening with Wonder Woman because they've now put an arrest warrant out on her. Look, America versus Wonder Woman is being narrated. Can't connect, like, why is this happening with her, right? Like she's a hero, she's one of us. And again, we get that panel, that page layout where it's the multiple panels within one image, and Diana learns who it is. It's this someone called the Sovereign. So this to me, like, the character that we're introduced to, that's now we learn who the narrator is, has to be new. I know this concept of like this, lasso of lies is a new concept. I don't think that's ever been talked about
I
before.
don't think so either, and that's a really cool concept. And like, I like this idea of they're setting up this villain like as a, like the sort of epitome of patriarch. Like the
Yeah, and he's been around, like, on the previous page, like where it's like this group, or or maybe just person, has been like from century, not century, different decades, or
yeah, like well,
yeah.
it's like some kind of secret organization, and because they're sovereign held the lasso of lies.
Yeah, I can't
So
wait to see where
yeah,
this goes. This is another really
yeah.
great first issue, and
She
I'm
had me hooked with the lasso of lies, and again, I mean, Wonder Woman is not a character that I really followed throughout the years. This might be the first time I actually actively start reading it. So,
yeah, I've
uh,
definitely gone, I've read some runs, back and forth. I haven't been excited for a Wonder Woman book in a long time. This is something I definitely can't wait to see where this leads. And hopefully Tom King's on it for a little while. It's not just a short run, because the ideas he's planted in this first issue seem like they could be really cool moving forward. But yeah, and everybody watching, get out to your local comic shop, pick up a copy. This is an awesome book. And make sure you like, follow, subscribe, hit the bell icon so you're notified every time a new vid drops. And on that note, we're out.
We'll see you next time, guys.